intelligent person never shares 5 things with anyone. Stoic philosophy. In today's hyper-connected world, where everyone has an opinion and validation is often just a click away, it's easy to get caught up in the noise. But true intelligence doesn't come from sharing everything. It comes from knowing what to keep to yourself. In the spirit of modern Stoicism, an intelligent person understands the power of discretion and silence. They know that certain things, when revealed, can jeopardize their emotional well-being, compromise their personal growth, or undermine their integrity. Today, we'll dive into the Stoic secrets that guide you to protect your inner peace and mental clarity. These 5 critical things are not just about avoiding unnecessary distractions. They're about mastering yourself and moving through life with confidence, control, and resilience. Join me on this journey as we uncover what you should never share, and how doing so can lead to a more successful and peaceful life, grounded in the wisdom of Stoic philosophy. Welcome to Stoic in Your Life. 5 things an intelligent person never shares. Number 1. Your next big move. When it comes to your ambitions, your dreams, and your next big move, think carefully before sharing them with the world. I know it can be tempting to talk about your new project or exciting idea. There's a certain thrill in voicing your plans and seeing others' reactions. But as someone striving for personal growth and success, you must understand the danger of revealing too much too soon. Not everyone needs to know about your next step, especially in the early stages. Think about it. When you share your goals too early, you open the door to external doubts, unsolicited advice, and sometimes even envy. People who care about you might unintentionally project their own fears or limitations onto your dreams. Their concerns could make you second-guess yourself or even doubt your own potential. Do you really want to risk allowing those voices to influence your path? It's easy to fall into the trap of seeking validation from others, but true wisdom lies in keeping your vision clear and focused, without the noise of outside opinions clouding your judgment. Remember, not everyone is going to understand your journey or see the potential you do. There are those who, perhaps out of envy, will try to steer you towards caution, or worse, discourage you altogether. But as the Stoics teach us, our power lies in how we respond to external events, not in those events themselves. He who is not a good servant will not be a good master, Marcus Aurelius wisely wrote. Your dreams and ambitions are yours to protect, and it is through maintaining silence that you safeguard them from unwanted interference. Instead of announcing every move, take action quietly, just like the great leaders and innovators throughout history who didn't need to tell the world their every step. They let their results speak for themselves. Think of it. Those figures we admire, people like Steve Jobs, Thomas Edison, or even the Stoic emperors, didn't shout about their plans. They simply worked in silence. And when they succeeded, the world was in awe. By keeping your next move to yourself, you prevent unnecessary distractions. You protect your vision from the doubts and fears of others, and you give yourself the space to think clearly and execute your plans without pressure. Don't you want to be someone who lets your actions, not your words, create your legacy? And what if, just by keeping things to yourself, you could create a space where you are less distracted by others and more focused on your true purpose? Isn't that the kind of quiet strength we all admire? In modern Stoicism, we understand that the path to success is paved with quiet determination and disciplined action, not with loud declarations or seeking approval from others. By keeping your next big move private, you're not being secretive for the sake of secrecy. You're protecting the sanctity of your vision. You're showing wisdom by not allowing external voices to derail what you're trying to achieve. So, I encourage you, consider how keeping your plans to yourself could shield you from unnecessary negativity and allow your true power to emerge in time. And remember, when the time is right and your efforts bear fruit, you won't need to say a word. Your success will speak louder than anything you could ever announce. So take a step back, trust in your own strength, and move forward in silence. Number 2. Your deepest weaknesses. An intelligent person understands that self-mastery is the cornerstone of true strength. As you walk through life, you are bound to face moments where your vulnerabilities surface. These weaknesses, whether fears, insecurities, or personal struggles, are a part of being human, but not everyone in your life is worthy of having access to them. The Stoic path teaches us the importance of keeping our deepest vulnerabilities to ourselves, or only sharing them with those who have earned our trust through loyalty, understanding, and respect. In the wrong hands, your weaknesses can be used against you, either intentionally or unintentionally. Betrayal doesn't always come from malice. It often arises from carelessness, a lack of awareness, or a failure to recognize the weight of one's words. Even those closest to you, such as friends or family, may unknowingly exploit your insecurities if they don't fully appreciate the gravity of what they now know about you. Once you reveal your weaknesses, you lose control over how they might be used or misused, and it becomes impossible to take them back. This can be especially dangerous in competitive environments like business or personal relationships, where the stakes are high and trust is fragile. Sharing your vulnerabilities in such settings doesn't build bridges. It opens doors for others to manipulate or take advantage of you. As the Stoic philosopher Seneca wisely stated, "A fool is one who tells his secrets to the wind, for the wind is always listening." This serves as a reminder that some things must remain guarded. Therefore, it is imperative to recognize that revealing too much about yourself too soon, or to the wrong person, invites potential harm, rather than connection. You may think that sharing your struggles will make you appear human, relatable, or even more trusted, but often it's the opposite. True strength lies in choosing discretion, knowing when to remain silent and understanding the value of safeguarding your innermost fears. When you protect your vulnerabilities, you not only preserve your own peace but also avoid exposing yourself to unnecessary risks. Think about how this applies to modern life, where the personal details you share on social media, in business dealings, or even within friendships can be leveraged in ways you may not foresee. The concept of Stoic secrets teaches us that self-mastery goes beyond controlling our actions and thoughts. It involves understanding which parts of ourselves should remain private and under our own control. Only share what truly builds your connection with others and ensures you are surrounded by those who have proven their trustworthiness over time. So remember, just as the wise Stoics did, never expose your deepest weaknesses unless you are certain that the person before you can handle them with the respect they deserve. Number 3. Your income and financial plans. An intelligent person knows the value of privacy, especially when it comes to personal matters like finances. Your income, savings, and financial plans are deeply personal, and sharing these details with others can open the door to unnecessary complications. Once people know how much money you earn or what you have saved, they often begin to form assumptions, creating expectations that may not be aligned with your intentions. Family members might feel entitled to a portion of your wealth, expecting you to lend them money or support their lifestyle. This sense of entitlement can create pressure and strain in relationships that were once carefree and supportive. Friends, too, may begin to view your financial success through a lens of jealousy or even resentment. What was once a bond of camaraderie can easily shift into a competition, where your success is seen as a threat rather than an inspiration. In the workplace, if your colleagues discover that you're earning more than they are, it could lead to tension and bitterness, disrupting the team dynamic and fostering an unhealthy work environment. This tension isn't confined just to personal relationships. It can manifest in various aspects of your life. Financial transparency can expose you to manipulation or exploitation by those who view your wealth as an opportunity to advance their own interests. They may attempt to pull you into their schemes, use your success to their advantage, or subtly pressure you into decisions that don't align with your values. In these situations, it becomes increasingly important to maintain discretion. Stoic philosophy emphasizes that true power is not derived from what we accumulate, but from our ability to control how much others know about us, especially when it comes to our financial situation. As Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic emperor, once said, "Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants." This wisdom underscores the idea that your financial journey is yours alone to shape, and by keeping it private, you protect yourself from outside influence. The less others know about your financial situation, the fewer opportunities they have to interfere with your plans or make judgments based on their own biases. This level of privacy allows you the freedom to pursue your goals based on your values, free from the expectations of others. Modern Stoicism teaches us to focus on our internal compass, not the external pressures that may seek to sway us. By keeping your income and financial plans to yourself, you retain control over your future, allowing you to navigate your life without the added weight of others' opinions or demands. In today's fast-paced, interconnected world, where success is often measured by material wealth and validation, this practice of financial discretion is more vital than ever. It helps you live without the stress that comes from constantly measuring up to the expectations of others. By maintaining privacy about your financial situation, you preserve harmony in your relationships, protect your peace of mind, and focus on what truly matters: your values, your goals, and your personal well-being. In the end, your financial journey is yours alone to navigate, and only by holding firm to the principle of discretion can you move forward with clarity, purpose, and peace, unaffected by the distractions that others may try to impose upon you. The Stoic practice of controlling what others know about your finances is not just a strategy for success, but a means of protecting your integrity and living life on your own terms. If you've ever experienced the pressure of others knowing too much about your financial situation or have felt the strain of people making assumptions about your wealth, share your thoughts in the comments below with "I value privacy." Your insights and experiences are important in helping build a community that focuses on protecting personal boundaries and making decisions that align with our true values. Let's create a space where we prioritize our peace of mind and financial autonomy over external expectations. Number 4. Your family problems. When it comes to family, it's natural to want to seek comfort and advice during tough times. However, as the Stoic secrets teach us, there's a boundary that should never be crossed: sharing your family problems with others. Your family is sacred, and while you might be feeling overwhelmed or hurt by what's going on behind closed doors, sharing those struggles with the wrong people can only bring harm. We've all been there. You may feel the urge to confide in a friend or colleague, but think for a moment. How many times have you shared something personal, only for it to come back to you as gossip or judgment? When you open up about family issues, it's easy for others to listen out of curiosity, not care, or sometimes even for the drama. It's a sad truth, but the reality is that many people won't offer a compassionate ear because they genuinely care. They simply want to be part of the story. And once those private details escape your lips, it's not just your family's dignity that's at stake, it's your relationships too. What you thought was a moment of sharing becomes the fuel for rumors or unwanted opinions. It's like releasing a balloon into the air, only to watch it float out of reach and fall into the wrong hands. Once it's out there, you can't control how it's handled, and that can cause more harm than you ever intended. For example, imagine a situation where a family member is struggling with addiction and you open up to a friend. They might say, "You need to cut them off," or offer harsh advice. But that advice could further alienate the person, making things worse instead of helping. In these moments, it's crucial to ask yourself, is sharing this really in the best interest of my family? A true Stoic would recognize the wisdom in keeping family matters private, knowing that discretion and understanding within the family create a safer space for resolution and healing. Instead of seeking external validation or solutions, focus on finding strength within your own household, discussing matters calmly, and deciding on the best course of action together. After all, no one outside your family can understand the dynamics as well as you do. By protecting the privacy of your family's struggles, you foster resilience and trust. When you do this, you're not just keeping secrets, you're protecting the very core of what keeps your relationship strong. The Stoic secrets lie in this wisdom. When we share what's sacred with the wrong people, we weaken what should be our foundation. So remember this: when in doubt, keep it in the family. Focus on strengthening bonds within your household, not by seeking approval or advice from the outside world, but by nurturing the trust and understanding that only you and your family members can share. This builds a deeper, more resilient connection that cannot be easily swayed by others' opinions. You might even find that with time, some of those issues resolve themselves naturally as you strengthen the communication and support that only family can offer. Number 5. Your good deeds. In the hustle and bustle of the modern world, where recognition and social media validation seem to rule, it's easy to forget the true essence of generosity. But let me ask you this: have you ever given something purely for the sake of giving, without any expectation in return? The Stoics understood this well. They believed that the most powerful form of generosity is the kind that goes unnoticed. In fact, they would argue that sharing your good deeds with the world does more harm than good. As the philosopher Epictetus once said, wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. True generosity is not about seeking a pat on the back, nor is it about flaunting your kindness for others to admire. It's about doing the right thing because it's the right thing to do, even when no one is watching. When you act from a place of selflessness, you nurture your own character, and your inner peace is strengthened. It is easy to fall into the trap of thinking that the value of your deeds is tied to how many people see them. But think about this. What would happen if you started to focus on the act of kindness rather than the reaction from others? When you give without expecting anything in return, whether it's time, help, or resources, it doesn't matter who acknowledges it. That, my friend, is where true fulfillment lies. Imagine the world we could create if we all lived by this simple principle. Give freely for the sake of giving. This is at the heart of modern Stoicism. The more you publicize your generosity, the more likely you are to invite unhealthy comparisons, competition, and even resentment. Not to mention, others may start to expect your help as a form of entitlement. This is where the real danger lies. When the giving becomes about performance, not about purpose. I think we can all relate to that feeling of wanting to be acknowledged for doing something good, but when you give with expectation, you lose sight of why you were generous in the first place. What if, instead, you allowed your actions to speak for themselves, with no need for applause or validation? As Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoics, wisely stated, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury." You see, real generosity lies in the quiet, unsung moments of giving, where no one else may ever know what you've done. This is where integrity thrives, and where you build a sense of purpose that cannot be swayed by praise or criticism. In the end, if you aim to leave a positive impact on the world, do it without seeking recognition. In fact, ask yourself, why do you want others to know what you've done? Is it for validation? Or is it because the act itself brings you joy and fulfillment? The answer you arrive at will tell you a lot about your true motivations, so let me leave you with a thought. What would it feel like to live a life of quiet generosity, where your actions are rooted in authenticity, and your joy comes from the act itself, not the applause that may or may not follow? True greatness isn't about being seen. It's about being genuinely great when no one's watching. So start giving for the sake of giving, and see how much peace it brings to your life. In summary, an intelligent person knows that some things are better kept private. By choosing not to share your next big move, deepest weaknesses, financial plans, family issues, or good deeds, you not only protect yourself, but also maintain a sense of control and inner peace. Discretion is a tool for navigating the world with clarity and purpose. The Stoic path to privacy and personal control. Now let's take a closer look at how Stoic philosophy can help us maintain these boundaries. In the Stoic path to privacy and personal control, we'll explore how the principles of self-reliance, acceptance, and silence guide us to protect our personal space and preserve our emotional strength. Number 1. The importance of self-reliance. An intelligent person, particularly one who is drawn to the timeless wisdom of Stoicism, knows that true strength stems from self-reliance. In today's world, which is bombarded with distractions, judgments, and the relentless pressure to conform, the Stoics' most invaluable asset is their ability to remain unaffected by the chaos around them. This is the essence of the first Stoic secret, the art of relying on one's own judgment, inner wisdom, and virtues to guide their life. By cultivating self-reliance, you free yourself from the constant need for validation, approval, or praise from the outside world. In turn, you place yourself in a position of power, capable of navigating life's challenges with clarity and purpose. As Epictetus, the renowned Stoic philosopher, famously said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This insight cuts to the heart of Stoic philosophy. The events that occur around us are often beyond our control. People will disagree with us, situations will unfold in unexpected ways, and we will face setbacks that we never anticipated. However, it is our reaction to these circumstances that truly defines our experience. In a world where everyone seems to have an opinion about who we should be or what we should do, the Stoic path offers us a powerful reminder. No external event has the power to disturb our inner peace unless we allow it. The modern world is filled with external pressures that try to shape our identity and sense of self-worth. Social media often amplifies this struggle, showcasing curated versions of success and happiness that are hard to avoid. Family expectations, workplace demands, and societal standards all contribute to this external noise. But as a Stoic, you have the power to shut out these distractions and instead focus on your own internal compass. The path of self-reliance means standing firm in your own beliefs, values, and decisions, regardless of the opinions or judgments of others. It's about taking ownership of your life and trusting in your ability to make choices that reflect your personal code of virtue. This inner strength is not born overnight. It requires practice, reflection, and a commitment to self-awareness. The more you cultivate self-reliance, the less you will be influenced by the opinions or expectations of others. Instead, you will find the courage to live authentically, making decisions based on your own understanding of what is right, just, and true. In doing so, you break free from the need for external validation, and you open up the space to live a life that is deeply aligned with your purpose and values. Living with this kind of self-reliance brings a profound sense of empowerment. No longer will you be at the mercy of external circumstances or the whims of others. Instead, you will become the author of your own life story, guided by your own principles and virtues. When you face challenges, whether in your personal relationships, your career, or your own personal growth, you will approach them with resilience and grace, knowing that you are the one in control of your response. As the Stoic philosopher, Marcus Aurelius reminds us, the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. When you cultivate inner strength and self-reliance, you gain the ability to shape your own reality and find peace, regardless of what happens outside of you. Whether you are navigating the pressures of modern life, dealing with the complexities of relationships, or confronting challenges in your professional life, the Stoic secret of self-reliance is your foundation for a fulfilling and authentic existence. When you rely on your own wisdom, judgment, and virtues, you will not be swayed by the turbulence of the world around you. Instead, you will find clarity, direction, and a sense of peace that is not dependent on external circumstances or the approval of others. This is the true freedom that Stoicism offers, the freedom to live a life that is fully your own, guided by your inner strength and wisdom. And in doing so, you will discover that the path to happiness and fulfillment lies not in seeking external validation, but in trusting and relying on yourself. Number 2. Stoic acceptance of what you can't control. In the journey of self-improvement, there's one powerful principle from Stoic philosophy that stands out and resonates deeply: the idea of accepting what we cannot control. Stoics teach us that we should focus on the things within our influence and, with grace, accept what lies beyond our reach. This principle is especially relevant when it comes to maintaining privacy and emotional boundaries. In life, we face a multitude of situations where we cannot control the opinions or judgments of others. We cannot dictate how others perceive us or what they say about us. Yet, there is one thing we can control: how we present ourselves and the boundaries we set around what we choose to share with the world. This concept is liberating because it frees us from the relentless pursuit of approval or validation from external sources. We are no longer chained to the expectations of others. We have the power to choose what aspects of our life we reveal and what we keep private. By embracing this form of Stoic acceptance, we reclaim our inner peace. Instead of seeking validation from others, we strengthen our ability to shape our own narrative. This mindset, rooted in modern Stoicism, gives us the resilience to preserve our privacy and protect our emotional well-being, no matter the noise or judgment from the outside world. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus once said, "Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants." The same applies here. When you focus on what you can control, the clarity of your thoughts, the direction of your actions, and the boundaries you set, you stop feeling weighed down by others' judgments. You grow stronger because you become less concerned with how others perceive you and more focused on maintaining your own sense of self. This shift in perspective is crucial, especially in today's world, where external validation and constant comparison are so common. Social media often magnifies this, creating an environment where it feels like we must share every part of our lives to be seen and acknowledged. But the Stoics remind us that true freedom lies in knowing what to withhold. You don't need to open up every corner of your life for public consumption to feel validated or complete. The more you keep to yourself, the more you protect your emotional sovereignty. The less you share, the stronger you become in defining your life according to your own values, free from others' judgments. In the hyper-connected world we live in today, the practice of Stoic acceptance is not just a philosophical idea. It's a tool for emotional relief and personal empowerment. By choosing not to conform to the expectations of others, you cultivate the courage to live on your own terms. You begin to find contentment and peace not in others' opinions, but in the quiet confidence that comes from knowing who you are and where you stand. This practice can transform your life, giving you the strength to rise above the distractions of the modern world and focus on what truly matters. The more we practice this acceptance, the more we cultivate peace of mind, knowing that we are in charge of our own narrative and are not beholden to the opinions or judgments of others. Number 3. The discipline of not seeking validation. Picture this. You've just completed a challenging project at work, investing hours of effort, sweat, and determination. Finally, it's done, and you can't help but check your phone for messages or look around to see if anyone noticed. You're hoping for praise, validation, something that affirms your hard work. But why does that approval matter so much? The desire for validation is something many of us experience, but Stoicism teaches that it's not something we should chase. Instead, the Stoic secret lies in finding contentment through virtue, not external approval. The discipline of not seeking validation is one of the most empowering practices in Stoic philosophy. By living in alignment with what's right, acting with integrity, wisdom, and courage, we create a sense of self-worth that doesn't rely on the fleeting praise or criticism of others. True contentment, according to Stoicism, comes from within, not from the shifting opinions of the world around us. Think about how many times you've placed your happiness in someone else's judgment. You perform well, but instead of feeling content, you're waiting for a pat on the back. When that recognition doesn't come, it leaves you feeling empty. That's because external validation is temporary. Like a gust of wind, it fades as quickly as it comes. Now imagine if you could find lasting happiness that wasn't dependent on others' approval. What if you could be content just knowing you acted virtuously regardless of whether anyone noticed? This is the path the Stoics believed leads to true fulfillment. A wise person understands that seeking external validation is a trap. It only leads to anxiety and disappointment. Instead, they focus on cultivating virtues like courage, honesty, and wisdom, which provide a much deeper and more lasting sense of self-worth. The core of Stoic wisdom is this: don't rely on others' opinions to define your success or happiness. When you act with integrity, you no longer need external affirmation because your inner compass, guided by virtue, becomes your measure of success. You become the judge of your actions, not the world around you. Of course, criticism or feedback may come, but you won't be shaken by it. Your sense of self will no longer depend on others' opinions, and that freedom will allow you to grow with confidence and authenticity. Imagine the peace you'd feel by no longer being at the mercy of validation-seeking behavior. No more anxiety when your hard work goes unnoticed. Instead, you focus on doing what's right regardless of the outcome. This isn't just an abstract concept, it's something you can practice every day. You have the choice to value your actions, based on your own standards, not on others' approval. This is the heart of Stoic wisdom, living with purpose, with virtue, and finding contentment within. So, ask yourself, what can you do today to stop seeking validation from the outside world? What small step can you take to act in alignment with your own sense of integrity, regardless of how others respond? These Stoic secrets will guide you toward lasting happiness and inner peace. When you walk the Stoic path, you'll realize that true contentment comes from knowing you're living according to your most important virtues. Once you embrace this mindset, the need for external validation will fade, leaving you with peace and fulfillment that no one can take from you. You've just taken a powerful step toward mastering yourself. Now take a moment to reflect. Are you ready to stop seeking validation from others and start living in alignment with your true values? Leave a comment below with a slogan or phrase that resonates with you. Something like, inner peace, not approval. To let us know you're applying these Stoic principles in your life. Keep going. Your transformation is unfolding, and every small step leads you closer to lasting fulfillment. Don't forget to follow along for more insights on modern Stoicism. Number 4. Protecting your inner peace. In today's world, it's easy to get caught up in the noise of external opinions, the constant flow of information, and the judgments of others. But if you want to live with true peace of mind and clarity, one of the most powerful things you can do is protect your inner peace. You see, modern Stoicism teaches us that a calm, focused mind is not swayed by the praise or criticism of others. And one of the best ways to maintain this sense of tranquility is by keeping certain parts of your life private. Now, I know this might sound strange. Why would you need to keep things to yourself, especially when it feels so good to share and connect with others? But think about it for a moment. How often have you shared your thoughts, your goals, or your struggles only to be bombarded by opinions that may not even align with your own truth? Whether it's unsolicited advice, judgment, or the pressure to conform, these external voices can chip away at your peace and make you second-guess what you truly want in life. You might have noticed that when you open up to others, their responses, whether good or bad, often make you feel uneasy. That's because you've given away a piece of your clarity to others. But here's the thing. True peace comes from within, and it can only be nurtured when we are careful about what we share and with whom. It's not about being secretive or hiding your life. It's about protecting your emotional and mental space so you can remain grounded in your own truth. This is what I find so powerful about Stoicism. It doesn't ask you to shut out the world, but to learn how to interact with it on your own terms. If you wish to be rich, do not add to your money, but subtract from your desire, said Epictetus. And this can be applied to your emotions and your thoughts. By keeping certain things private, you're not hoarding them out of fear or selfishness. You're preserving your ability to think clearly, make decisions that align with your authentic self, and protect your emotional well-being from unnecessary distractions. Think about your goals. How often do you share them with others only to feel a sense of pressure or doubt creep in when their reactions aren't what you expected? When you keep your goals to yourself, you maintain control over your narrative. It's not about secrecy, but about staying true to your own vision without letting others' opinions interfere. Have you ever noticed how much more powerful your decisions feel when they're made without external interference? That's the freedom that comes with protecting your inner peace. It allows you to act from a place of deep self-awareness, not from the noise of the world around you. In a world where everyone seems to want to know your business or weigh in on your choices, I urge you to ask yourself, what would it feel like to guard your thoughts and plans with more intention? How might your mental and emotional clarity improve if you shared less and focused more on what truly matters to you? As you continue on your journey, embrace the power of privacy, not as a means of hiding, but as a tool for growth. By doing this, you will find that your mind becomes more stable, your heart more peaceful, and your actions more aligned with your true self. Isn't that the kind of peace we all long for in such a chaotic world? Modern Stoicism reminds us that our inner world is the most important world we can cultivate, and by protecting it from external distractions, you give yourself the gift of true freedom. So, take a moment today to reflect. What part of your life can you protect from the judgment of others? And how might that help you build a stronger, more resilient inner peace? Number 5. The power of silence in decision-making. In Stoicism, one of the most powerful yet often overlooked tools is the practice of silence, especially when it comes to making decisions. In a world full of external pressures and distractions, silence offers us a chance to clear our minds and make decisions grounded in our true values. It's not just the absence of sound. It's a conscious decision to step back from the noise and listen to our inner thoughts without interference. Silence allows us to break free from constant distractions, giving us the mental clarity to make choices that align with who we really are. Today's world is filled with opinions and urgent demands, making it easy to seek validation from others. However, this often stems from insecurity or a lack of confidence in our own judgment. Stoicism teaches us that true clarity comes from within, not from the opinions of others. As Marcus Aurelius said, the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. Our thoughts and the time we spend reflecting in silence shape our decisions. Our actions should be rooted in internal peace, not the noise surrounding us. Think about the times you've made impulsive decisions based on someone else's advice or the pressure of the moment, only to regret it later. We often let external opinions guide us, but this can lead to hasty choices that don't reflect our true values. Silence gives us the opportunity to pause and reflect, allowing clarity to emerge. It's not about avoiding decisions, but about giving ourselves the space to trust our own wisdom. Silence also protects us from emotional turbulence. In a world that constantly demands our attention, it's easy to be influenced by others' expectations. But when we keep our plans private until they are fully formed, we protect our emotional state. Silence serves as a shield from external pressures, ensuring we stay true to our values. This is especially important in a fast-paced society where we are expected to make quick decisions. Yet, as Stoics remind us, wisdom often comes not from what we say, but from the quiet moments we allow ourselves to reflect. By embracing silence, we empower ourselves to make decisions that align with who we truly are. We free ourselves from the distractions and expectations of the world. This Stoic secret leads to a more focused and intentional life, where our choices are shaped by clarity, not external chaos. In a world that demands constant action, learning to pause and reflect before acting is an act of self-mastery. It's about protecting our peace of mind, ensuring we are guided by our inner voice and staying true to our values. This is the essence of Stoic wisdom, to act from a place of stillness, led by our own wisdom. Number 6. The value of discretion in building trust. An intelligent person understands that discretion is not just a personal virtue, but a fundamental element in building and nurturing trust in any relationship, whether personal or professional. Trust, as we know, is the bedrock of all meaningful connections, and once it is broken, it becomes incredibly difficult, if not impossible, to repair. The ability to keep sensitive matters private, to not reveal too much about your life or others' lives prematurely, is a quality that not only protects your reputation, but strengthens the relationships around you. When you overshare or expose too much personal information too soon, you risk undermining the trust others have in you. People may begin to perceive you as someone who cannot keep a confidence, and this perception, once established, can lead to tension, alienation, and over time, the dissolution of respect. You may even find yourself distanced from those you care about or depend on in your professional life. On the other hand, when you practice discretion and maintain privacy, whether it's about your own matters or those of others, you show that you value and respect personal boundaries. This creates an environment where people feel safe with you, knowing that their vulnerabilities and private thoughts will be safeguarded. As a result, they are more likely to trust you, confident in your ability to honor their confidentiality. Trust is not something that can be won overnight. It is built gradually, through consistent and thoughtful behavior, through the conscious decision to respect boundaries and safeguard privacy. In modern Stoicism, we learn that exercising discretion is a clear demonstration of integrity, a key principle that strengthens our bonds with others. When we are discreet, we don't just protect our own reputations, we reinforce the trust others place in us. As the Stoic philosopher Seneca wisely said, "A good character is not made in a moment, but in the course of a lifetime." Maintaining privacy and discretion is integral to this process. It's not about hiding things for the sake of secrecy, but rather about recognizing the value of restraint and understanding that some matters, especially personal ones, are not for public consumption. In today's world, where the temptation to share everything on social media or in conversation is greater than ever, exercising discretion has never been more important. Oversharing can quickly lead to misunderstandings, misinterpretations, or even betrayals of trust, which can have lasting consequences. By choosing to hold back, to allow trust to develop at its own pace, you create deeper, more meaningful connections with others. This is not just a personal practice. It is a cornerstone of modern Stoicism, encouraging us to focus on internal virtues and the strength of our relationships rather than on external validation or the fleeting nature of gossip. In every interaction, whether with a close friend or a business associate, you have the opportunity to demonstrate that you understand the value of discretion, and in doing so, you strengthen the trust that forms the foundation of all your relationships. By being discreet, you allow trust to blossom naturally, building a reputation for integrity and respect that serves you both personally and professionally. This is the way of the Stoic: to maintain control over what is shared, to exercise patience and prudence in every conversation, and to build a life where trust is not easily broken. Let me ask you this: are you ready to take control of your life and empower yourself through the mastery of discretion? If so, take action now. Like this post and share your thoughts in the comments below. Master discretion, build trust. Remember, true power lies in our ability to control what we share and how we respect the privacy of others. When you embrace discretion, you not only strengthen the trust in your relationships, but also build a solid foundation of respect and integrity that will last. Let's discuss how practicing this Stoic principle can elevate your personal and professional life. Moving from what we should keep private to how we can actively protect our privacy, Stoic philosophy provides a powerful framework. By embracing self-reliance, accepting what we cannot control, and practicing the discipline of silence, we gain the tools necessary to safeguard our peace of mind and decision-making. This path helps us create boundaries that honor our inner world, shield us from unnecessary distractions, and keep us aligned with our true values. Final thoughts on living with purpose and integrity. Here, we'll uncover how living according to your values and cultivating emotional resilience can bring you lasting happiness. This is where your journey toward becoming a stronger, wiser person truly begins. Keep watching for more. Number 1. Living according to your values. In Stoicism, one of the core principles is living in alignment with your values. This simple yet powerful idea is at the heart of inner peace. Think about it for a moment. How often do you find yourself swayed by others' opinions or the desire for external approval? It's a trap many of us fall into. We seek validation, we want to be admired, or we just don't want to be judged. While it's natural to want acceptance, constantly chasing approval can lead us astray from our true selves. True fulfillment comes from living according to your own values, not from conforming to the expectations of others. Living by your values means making decisions that reflect who you truly are, even when it's difficult or when everyone else is doing something different. Imagine you've just started a new job and your colleagues are all talking about their ambitious plans to get ahead, even if it means cutting corners. The pressure to fit in and follow the crowd is real. But then, something within you clicks. You remember the Stoic principles that have guided countless wise individuals. Success for you isn't about taking shortcuts or gaining immediate recognition. It's about staying true to your principles, contributing meaningfully, and acting with integrity. When you choose to live authentically, you protect your inner peace. It's in these moments where you stand firm in your values that true peace is built. Over time, these small but consistent decisions create a foundation of self-trust. You stop looking outside for validation and start finding contentment within. How different would your life be if every choice you made came from a place of integrity? How much more fulfilling would your life feel, knowing you're living according to your values rather than seeking approval from others? This is the essence of Stoicism. We cannot control what happens to us, but we can always control our response. By living according to your values, you create an unshakable foundation that no external force can disrupt. You no longer need others' approval because your confidence stems from the alignment of your actions with your true self. This is where the Stoic secrets truly shine. They teach us to focus on what we can control: our thoughts, our actions, and our values. When we live in harmony with these, we unlock a life of lasting fulfillment. A quiet, steadfast contentment that comes from within, not from others' opinions. So, I ask you, are you living according to your values? Or are you letting the world dictate your choices? Don't wait for external validation. Embrace your authenticity. Your values are the guiding light to a life that's truly your own. Trust them, trust yourself, and watch as your life transforms. Number 2, creating a life of emotional resilience. Emotional resilience is something that we all need, especially in today's fast-paced, opinion-driven world. Have you ever felt overwhelmed by what others think of you or the pressures that come with external expectations? It's easy to let those things shape how we feel, but this is where the Stoics offer us profound wisdom. They understood that our emotions are powerful, but they also believed that we have the ability to master them, to stay grounded, regardless of what's happening around us. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and a Stoic philosopher, once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." This is the essence of what it means to be emotionally resilient, knowing that while you can't control the world or how others behave, you can control how you respond. Modern Stoicism, just like ancient Stoicism, teaches us that emotional resilience begins with setting boundaries around what you choose to share with others. Not everything needs to be laid bare. In fact, the more you keep your personal struggles and challenges to yourself, the stronger your emotional foundation becomes. Think about it. When you share everything with the world, you're exposing yourself to unnecessary judgment and vulnerability. That's not to say you should bottle up your feelings or isolate yourself. But consider this. There is strength in choosing to keep certain things private. When you're selective about what you reveal, you give yourself the space to process emotions in a healthy way. Instead of looking for validation or comfort from others, you rely on your inner resources, your values, and your sense of purpose to navigate challenges. What do you think would happen if you stopped relying so much on external validation? Would it give you more emotional stability to handle difficult situations? The Stoics understood that resilience comes from having a strong sense of self, from being aligned with your values, and from living according to those values, no matter what others think. They knew that if you were too concerned with others' opinions, you'd never find peace. Imagine if you could let go of that constant need to impress or seek approval. How different would your emotional state be if you focused solely on your own growth and development, rather than letting others' judgments define you? By practicing this in your life, you build a shield against the emotional turbulence that comes from other people's actions and opinions. In fact, this practice strengthens your emotional core and allows you to face challenges with clarity and composure. So I want you to think about this. What are the things you share with others that perhaps you should keep to yourself? How would it feel to stop outsourcing your emotional well-being and start nurturing it from within? By focusing on your growth and holding firm to your inner values, you develop the resilience to face whatever life throws your way, unshaken by the shifting winds of other people's thoughts and behaviors. When you begin to practice this, when you guard your emotional energy and let go of external influences, you start living in a way that's aligned with Stoic wisdom, and you find true emotional freedom. I'm curious, what would it look like for you to live with emotional resilience rooted in your own sense of purpose and self, rather than the ever-changing judgments of the world around you? If you've come this far, it's clear you're someone committed to gaining true wisdom and emotional resilience. I'd love to hear from you. Reflect on how emotional resilience could transform your approach to life's challenges. Please leave a comment with this slogan: Master your emotions, own your life. Or feel free to share your thoughts on how you're embracing your inner strength and living with purpose. This journey of self-discovery and growth is just getting started, and there's so much more wisdom to uncover. Stick with it and let's keep moving forward together. Number 3, the strength of silence and reflection. In today's fast-paced world, one of the most powerful tools for those following Stoic principles is the strength found in silence and reflection. Silence, often seen as just the absence of sound, holds a deeper purpose for Stoics. It provides a space for clarity, self-discovery, and inner strength. In a world overwhelmed by constant distractions and noise, silence has become a rare and invaluable resource. As the Stoic philosopher Seneca wisely said, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." By taking time for silence, we realize how much of our suffering is self-inflicted by worry and external pressures. Silence offers us peace and insight, allowing us to reconnect with our true selves. In the chaos of daily life, it's easy to lose touch with who we are or what we truly value. Silence gives us the space to sift through the noise, reflect on our actions, and realign with our core beliefs. This practice of self-reflection is central to Stoic philosophy, as it ensures our actions are guided by what we truly believe, not by fleeting external influences. Through reflection, we gain deeper self-awareness and become more mindful of our choices. Silence also cultivates wisdom. The Stoics understood that wisdom doesn't come from reacting to the world's noise. It arises from quiet contemplation. As Marcus Aurelius said, "Nowhere can man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own soul." In a world filled with distractions, silence provides a retreat where we can connect with our inner wisdom. It sharpens our decision-making skills and helps us act with reason, not impulsivity or emotional reactions to others' opinions. Beyond clarity, silence strengthens our inner voice. In a world full of external judgments, it's easy to lose touch with our own thoughts. Embracing silence creates space for our true voice to emerge, the inner compass that guides us in decisions that align with our values. This quiet yet powerful force keeps us grounded and focused no matter what is happening around us. True self-care isn't just about physical indulgence. It's about carving out moments of silence and reflection in our daily routines. It's about giving yourself permission to pause, breathe, and reconnect with your inner wisdom. The Stoic secret of silence reminds us that stillness holds real strength. These quiet moments offer the clarity and wisdom needed to move forward with purpose. In a noisy world, taking a step back can be revolutionary. It helps you reclaim your mind, reconnect with your purpose, and regain clarity. Whether through a quiet walk, meditation, or solitude, practicing silence gives you access to the Stoic secrets of clarity, wisdom, and self-mastery. By embracing these moments of stillness, you empower yourself to make decisions based on your inner truth, free from external distractions. Silence, when used intentionally, becomes a powerful tool for living an authentic, fulfilling life. Number 4. Cultivating true happiness and fulfillment. In the pursuit of meaning and purpose, one of the core teachings of Stoic philosophy is that true happiness is found within, independent of external circumstances. Modern Stoicism reminds us that happiness is not attained through material achievements or possessions, but through living with integrity, protecting our privacy, and focusing on personal growth. In today's world, it's easy to become distracted by society's expectations, others' opinions, or the temporary satisfaction of acquiring things. Yet, true fulfillment comes when we align our actions with our deepest values, guided by the Stoic virtues of wisdom, courage, and justice. These virtues form the foundation of a meaningful life, one that remains resilient regardless of external events. Living with integrity means staying true to your values, even when it's difficult or goes against the grain. Integrity is about making choices that reflect who you are at your core, regardless of external influences. When we live authentically, we stop seeking validation from others. As Epictetus wisely said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." By mastering our choices in living true to ourselves, we unlock the peace that comes from knowing we are aligned with our own values, which is the true essence of happiness. In modern life, where privacy is often overlooked, it's crucial to protect your inner world. The constant influx of news, social media, and societal pressures can overwhelm you, making it hard to focus on what truly matters. Practicing Stoicism helps us protect our emotional well-being by keeping certain parts of our lives private. This isn't about being secretive. It's about knowing what is sacred and safeguarding those parts of yourself. You don't need to share everything with the world to feel validated. The more you protect your privacy and emotional boundaries, the more you can focus on what truly matters: your growth, your values, and your peace of mind. Personal growth is a continuous journey, not a destination. The Stoics emphasize that personal development comes from daily reflection and consistent effort. Each challenge you face, whether personal or professional, is an opportunity to practice Stoic virtues. By shifting your perspective, you begin to see obstacles as chances to improve, building confidence in your ability to handle life's ups and downs. As you focus on growth, you learn that your happiness no longer depends on things outside your control. True happiness and fulfillment are found in living a life that aligns with your values. When you do this, you experience a sense of inner peace that no external force can take away. You realize that your life is shaped by your own choices and principles, grounded in wisdom, courage, and justice. Modern Stoicism teaches that happiness is not a fleeting emotion tied to external achievements, but a lasting sense of fulfillment that comes from within. When your thoughts are aligned with your values and your actions reflect those principles, you cultivate a happiness that is unshakable and uniquely your own. In conclusion, an intelligent person understands the power of privacy and self-control. Stoic philosophy teaches us that silence, emotional regulation, and setting boundaries are essential for living a life with purpose and clarity. By keeping certain things private, such as your big plans, weaknesses, financial matters, family struggles, and good deeds, you protect your inner peace and personal power from unnecessary external influences. Silence is not weakness, it is a powerful tool that allows you to take control of your life. Apply these Stoic principles to your daily life for personal growth and happiness. By keeping parts of your life private, you'll become more intentional in your actions and live a life aligned with your true values. So why wait? Start protecting your private space today. What are your thoughts on applying Stoic principles in your own life? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Stoic in Your Life for more insights on how Stoic philosophy can transform your life.